This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April, it's dangerous for me to drive because I have thoughts. And sometimes those thoughts are good, sometimes they're bad.
Okay,
sometimes
yeah.
I get home and I'm like, how did I get here? Because I was thinking things.
Yeah.
So my first order of business is that I have really been leaning into the movie theme for this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's doing a disservice to our name because we're chicks.
Yeah.
And I think we should go more towards the farm aspect.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
let's watch Animal Farm next week.
Yeah, let's do it. So what I am proposing, if our listeners want to, we're going to call them our little chickadees. They're going to be our little chicks.
Yes.
Our little chickies.
Our little chicklets.
Chicklets. I like chicklets.
Chicklets.
And when we have people come on our podcast, they're going to be welcome to our hen house or chicken coop. We haven't decided yet.
Yes.
I've gotten mixed. Like, I know you like chicken coop. I like hen house. A few other people have said both. So, you know, you hear this episode, you let us know.
Yes.
And that's what you will be called from now on. And our Patreon, I will update that. I'm thinking of these 3 layers. So the lowest bottom bargain layer for $1 a month, you would be in our egg carton.
Oh.
If you want to do $3 a month, you would be in our nest.
Oh.
And if you do $5 a month, you are in our coop. And, you know, it comes with perks. We haven't decided all the perks. Some of them are listed, you know. Yeah.
I like the egg carton reference.
Yeah.
But maybe we should call it the incubator because they're still alive as they move up. Yeah. How about the non-subscribers make it to the egg carton?
They're just our egg cartons. We'll have to workshop this. But it's funny that I was thinking of this because the movie that we decided to watch today has the name of Rooster in it.
Yeah.
And I thought, how appropriate.
Yes.
So
this
that
was
worked
before
out.
that decision. It just worked.
It just happened that way. Now, if you've seen our Instagram from this past week, you will know that I lost my grandpa. And he was super important to me. And we wanted to, well, April graciously let us cut in on her April's month of fun. And we're reviewing a special movie in honor of my grandpa. He was so proud that we have this podcast. He listened, even though he was hard of hearing. He would tell Alexa to play our podcast, and he listened to a lot of episodes, and he was just so thrilled that I was doing this and following something that I really like to do. And, I'm going to miss him. So I'm going to cry.
I've had the pleasure to meet him a few times. Yeah. He was always so quiet, just doing his thing.
Yeah, he was such a nice guy. The world is a sadder place without him. So we decided we're going to review True Grit. We're not doing the original with John Wayne. We are doing the updated 2010 version with Jeff Bridges. I actually watched it with him. So I feel like, his spirit's there.
Of course.
It was a hard decision on what movie we're going to watch because he loves Westerns. He was a Western writer, and, that's just like his genre. Every time my dad loves Westerns as well. And anytime it's on TV, we'll be like, but you've seen, he's like, no, I've never seen this one before, even though he's seen it like 1,000 times. And
that's so weird. My dad loves Westerns too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is that just the age that they grew up in with like Gunsmoke and the Lone Ranger and stuff?
Probably. Just every year, anytime we ever came to visit, we would watch McClintock, which is his favorite. And then we would watch for Christmas, we'd watch Donovan's Reef, which is not really a Western, but it has John Wayne in it. So they consider it the same. And like he loves The Quiet Man and the original True Grit, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, like all that stuff. Now, I saw City Slickers with him and my grandma. They took me to the movie theater for whatever reason. And we were going to watch that, but it was like $14.99, and I just didn't feel like spending that much on a movie that I hadn't seen in forever.
Yeah.
I know it's good. I've seen 1 and 2, and there's 2 of them. And then I'm pretty sure it was either Lonesome Dove or Tombstone that I also went and saw with them. I couldn't remember which. I'm leaning towards Tombstone. I think my whole family went and saw that because it came out like in December. So it would make sense that we were here for Christmas and we all went and saw it.
Yeah.
But instead we decided to do True Grit because my sister had never seen it somehow.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
That nor the original.
So I've seen the original, but I actually think I saw it after I saw this one.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the original True Grit before this, but when they decide to watch Westerns, I would always fall asleep. They're not my jam. It's just, it's not movies that I really care to watch. I like McClintock, but that's really the only one that I've ever really liked. So yeah, we decided to do this, and I hope somewhere he's hearing it and he's happy. So
he's like, Alexa. And they're like, we don't have that here.
They should have everything there, right? So basically True Grit is about a 14-year-old girl named Maddie Ross, and her father has died by the hands of
Tom Clancy.
I was going to say Tom Clancy, and then I was like, no, that's an author, right?
See, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, no, that's not it. And she...
Wait, I have the Wikipedia right here.
Okay.
I can tell you.
Thomas Clancy.
Yeah, Tom Chansey.
Oh, Chansey.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she is having to collect his stuff, sell his horses, collect his body, take it home. But she also wants to avenge her dad's murder.
Yep.
And so she hires a marshal, which is Rooster, to Jeff Bridges, to help find Tom Clancy because he's somewhere else. He's on the run.
It's out in the Wild West.
Yeah.
And Midwest.
Yeah. And she also runs into LaBeouf.
LaBeouf, yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Which is Matt Damon. His
Shia
character.
LaBeouf.
Yeah, LaBeouf. And I'm not exactly sure what he does, but he's from Texas.
Oh, he's a Lone Ranger, Texas Ranger.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, they killed a senator, so he was commissioned to go bring him back to Texas for justice.
Yeah. And they all go off on their adventure, and things happen, and she loses an arm.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Hey, but she survived.
She did.
She was, if anybody's going to lose an arm and like be better for it, it's her.
Right.
Like she just went with it.
Like, you know,
she's a tough gal.
On TikTok, they're always talking about being boss bitch and a boss lady. That's her.
Yep.
Like, she is tough.
Before it was a thing.
Yes.
She is a shrewd woman. Mm-hmm. She was definitely a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like she was a great negotiator.
Yeah.
Incredibly good.
She scared older men.
Yeah, she was really, it's hard to say articulate just because even though they all spoke with a twang, because they're using such different speech from today, it feels articulate. Like they use a lot of biblical words.
Well, and also it said that she got the part. There are like 200 girls auditioned for this part, or maybe 2,000. But she got it because she was able to handle the heavy load for the what is it? Like words. She was able, it was like a very wordy script, and she was able to handle all the adult dialect and all that stuff.
I swear it feels like everybody had a monologue every 5 minutes, you know? Yeah. And it was like when you could understand what, like here's the thing, like sometimes I would zone out, and then when I would zone back in, I would just be like, wow, I really liked how they strung those words together. Yeah. You know, that was a really interesting way to say that. I was mighty impressed with the words. And that's why I feel it was very biblical.
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't think dictionaries existed at that point.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. I think it was in the process of being put together. But like all of their fancy words came from the Bible.
Yeah.
Or law books, if you could understand it.
And I feel like 3 of the characters that we were introduced to all kind of sounded like this. Except for her.
Honestly, it just sounds like they're not in a rush to say what they be saying.
I would just be like, what are they saying?
Yeah, like you would zone out and then you would zone back in, you know? And when you really stop to listen, it's like, oh, I kind of like that.
So I listened to this podcast called The 90s Called, and it has Christine Taylor, who's wife of Ben Stiller. And it has this other guy, David Lerman. It doesn't matter. They were both on Hey Dude. I really liked that show when I was a kid, and so I listened to their podcast. And they have a lot of different people on. Well, David was in the movie White Squall, which we have not watched yet, but I definitely think we should. Mm-hmm. It's about it's a true life story about a bunch of teenagers that go and help on this boat during a war. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, they had the whole entire cast, and it's full. It has Scott Wolf and Ryan Phillippe and Ethan Embry.
How old is this?
This was in
like when they were starting out?
Yeah, this was like the mid 90s, somewhere around there. But Jeff Bridges was in it. And so they had him on the podcast. And he was like, hey, you know, man, like, okay, he didn't have the Southern, I don't know where that came from, but he was just like, oh God, you know, like just a stoner and So different from this character.
When I think of Jeff Bridges, I think of the dude.
Yes. Okay. So he was very much like that. But even more so. Like, I'm sure he hit a blunt before he went on this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
And
we
that's
need
exactly
to watch
how
The
he
Big
is.
Lebowski.
Yeah. And okay. So I'm glad you brought up The Big Lebowski because I have a little thing about that.
They're making a part 2?
No.
I honestly would not mind if my ashes ended up in a Folgers can. Like, I think that would be so hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't drink Folgers, but like, it has crystals.
Exactly. It says the conversation Maddie has with the coroner about the high cost of preparing her father's corpse is similar to the discussion the dude and Walter have about the price of the urn with Danny's ashes in another Coen's movie that Jeff Bridges, The Big Lebowski. Yeah, I as a bowler, of course, I've seen that movie. But I haven't seen it as much as the other bowling movies like Kingpin.
That's where I got sarsaparilla and White Russian.
Of course.
I remember one time we ordered a White Russian just to see what the hell it was. And we're like, oh my God, this is so good. And then we looked up what was in it. And that's how we discovered Kahlua.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When it came to sarsaparilla, I had to look it up. And I was like, this is just root beer. And I'll never forget, one time we were at the break room at work and we had vending machines. And my friend was like, hey, you want anything to drink? And I was like, yeah, sure. Get me a sarsaparilla. And everybody stopped. Like this is when I worked at the law firm. One of the attorneys was leaving and he was an older gentleman. He stopped and he looked at me and he was like, do you know what that is? And I was like, of course I know what that is. And my other friend, she's like, I don't know what that is. What is that? And I was like, it's a root beer. And she's like, oh. And then everybody was like, oh. And then he was like, I haven't heard that word since I was a young boy. And I was like, sweet. I impressed like everyone in the break room that day.
So it said that this version of True Grit was the last Coen Brothers movie Ebert reviewed, giving it a positive rating with 3.5 stars out of the possible 4. Mm-hmm. Good job, Ebert.
Yeah, it was a very good movie. I definitely could have used caption.
Oh, yeah, probably. It said that Rooster Cogburn is supposed to be around 40, but both John Wayne and Jeff Bridges were in their 60s, portraying the role.
I think they did good.
Yeah.
It really showed you washed up, but still the best in the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially when he was shooting the cornbread pieces.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, you know he's the best.
Yeah.
But you still don't quite believe it. You know? But you're like, I mean, he has a very high success rate.
But I mean, that's because he looks like a drunk. He sounds like a drunk. He looks like a drunk.
He is a drunk.
And, you know, that's how he portrays himself. But when he was out there talking to the people, you could tell he's a man that gets things done. Mm-hmm. And people get out of his way or they get killed.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts was when he's at the courthouse and the lawyer.
I didn't understand a word it took a while before my brain was able to comprehend.
Well, one of the things the lawyer said was, how many members of the Wharton family have you killed? And he says, immediate.
Oh.
And I was like, wow. So are you talking the immediate family or are you talking about
extended family?
Yeah,
like how big of the clan are you talking about?
I just thought that was hilarious. Let's see here. Oh, so something that was weird and they never really brought it up again. And in the trivia, I didn't see anything about it, thought it was a little weird was when she wakes up and LaBeouf is in her room and they start to kind of argue. And then he said that he would kiss her, but that she was ugly and sick. And I was just like, first of all, she's not sick.
Secondly, it's hot and she's sweaty.
Yeah. Secondly, she's 14.
He even said that. He's like, but you're a kid and you're ugly.
Yeah.
I think that's just him trying to get under her skin.
I guess.
You know?
And is she ugly? Like, I don't think she's ugly.
So either.
Yeah.
But normal people, okay, you like the people that are in your age group?
I guess. Yeah.
Like, just think about it. Like, when you were younger, I was not attracted to like 30 or 40-year-old men. You know, like, no, they're old. And now that I'm older, you know, like, I don't think little kids are cute or hot. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe that's why he said it. It's like, oh, you're just a stupid kid. You know?
Like, why bring it up?
Why not?
That's
Put her in her place.
It's such a weird thing to say to a child.
I mean,
like, I'd kiss you, but you're gross. So I'm not going to do that. Maybe it's because you're an adult and she's a child.
I don't know. I kind of missed the first part of that.
Yeah.
Like, again, like here's the thing. When I say I missed part of it, like, I understood about halfway through, you know, because it's basically saying, hey, I hear you're looking for Tom Chancey.
Yeah.
I'm looking for him too.
Yeah.
And he tells his little story of why. And then she's like, no, I need him to serve justice here.
Yeah.
You know, and then they have their whole little spiel, you know. And so, like, that's why I'm like, I feel like I have a delayed like, I'm slow. Like, this movie made me feel slow. Like, eventually I figured out what they were saying and what they meant, but it took a while for me to, like, get there.
Yeah.
Like, the part where they're walking through, like, the forest and he's talking about all the many wives he's had. Like, I listened to it and I kind of zoned out, which I'm sure is what the little girl did.
Yeah, I missed it.
And then I kind of zoned back in and he's like, and then my second wife. And I'm like, oh, are we still talking about this?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, like, I heard most of it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what was happening. Like, you know, like, she left me and went back to some other dude, you know, I didn't. And it's strange.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was really hard to understand a lot of them. She was easy to understand, but I couldn't understand half of what anybody else was saying. But
like here's the thing. Like, she was easily the easiest one to understand, like you said. But she's stringing together these words that I don't normally hear are together.
Sarsaparilla.
And I get stuck on it. And I miss the next sentence because I'm still like processing the first sentence.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's a delay. Like, she says something and I'm like, oh, well, that's an interesting way of saying that.
And I think one of the reasons why he said what he said to her is because she said her mom isn't educated. And clearly she has the education. Mm-hmm. And she's having to now step up and be the leader of this family. And so I think she acts older than her years because she's had to take care of her family while her dad is away doing whatever business he's doing. And so I think he was putting her in her place saying, hey, you're not as old as you think you are. You're just a stupid kid. And I think that's kind of why he said that, but it's just a weird thing, you know, back then, not so weird.
Yeah.
14-year-olds got married. But nowadays we're like, she's 14. She's like in 7th grade, 8th grade. Get out of here. Let's see here. Oh, I love that they just have public hangings. Like that was a thing.
It literally was.
And they all clapped. They were like, "Oh, yay. They're all dead. Good job, everybody." Thank goodness. At least they have the decorum to put bags over their heads, you know. So they don't have to see their faces, I guess. I just like the one guy that was like, "I killed the wrong man, that's why I'm here." If I'd killed the right man, I wouldn't have gotten caught and I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but I mean, from what we know, he's killed at least 2 men.
Yeah.
And each one got him a bounty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if one guy didn't get him, the other one would. So,
yeah. This girl at work yesterday was telling us the story about this woman who her husband was cheating on her. And instead of, getting a divorce and just going on with your life, she was like, no. We need to have her killed because clearly this can't happen because he's going to be with me. And he thought, well, I don't want to be with my wife anymore. I want to be with this person. So I just need to kill her. And so he set out to kill her, but he killed the wrong person. So she, I guess,
got everything.
Yeah. So she wears this workout outfit, and there was a lady running down the street in that same workout outfit. He thought it was her. Hit her
over.
Yeah, hit her with his car, ran her over. She still wasn't quite dead, so he backed up, did it again, and then went forward and did it again. And that lady died. And then he found out later that lady died. He didn't know that it wasn't his wife.
Until she walked through the door.
So he was at home taking a shower, and then all of a sudden his wife walks in. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he's just like, And so
how'd he get caught? Cameras.
How she found out. So he didn't get caught right away. How she found out is because she went to go get the car washed, and he had used all the money left on the car wash. And so she asked them if they could pull up like when the last time the car was washed. And I guess it was that same day that woman had died, and she somehow put 2 and 2 together that clearly that must be the reason why he did it. And so she like confronts him about it. And
that was stupid.
Yeah. And so she was like, "You tried to kill me?" And she's like, "If you don't kill this girl, I'm going to kill you." And so instead of going to the police, which a normal person would do, he was like, "Okay, I guess I got to go kill this girl."
Like the
mistress.
Yeah.
So he went over there, but he hadn't done it. He wasn't going to do it. And so he went and like knocked on the door. And when he did, his wife was there and had killed her and was like, "I knew you didn't have the balls to do it."
So they both go to jail?
I don't know how the rest of it ended, but that's what she told us. And I was just like, what? Why?
Oh,
Why?
they truly are meant for each other, though. They are till death do them part.
And like at least do some due diligence. Don't just run over someone because they have a outfit similar to your wife's.
Oh
like,
my God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And as soon as you didn't kill the right person and you think your wife is going to harm you, go to the police. And be like, "Hey, look, I was trying to kill her before she killed me, and now I'm afraid."
Wow.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Just wow.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. I saw this TikTok somewhere. On TikTok. Anyways, it was about this odd story, like in Argentina or something. So there's this building. There's at least 13 floors because there's this kid playing fetch with his dog. He throws the ball. He's throwing the ball. He accidentally throws it too far, and it goes over the balcony.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And the dog goes over the balcony, lands on a woman that is looking at the window, like window shopping. Both of them die instantly. Now, when this happens, there's a woman across the street and she sees this and her first instinct is, oh my God, they need help. And she walks into the street of coming traffic and a bus hits her. She goes flying and she is instantly killed. Now, the store that this woman was window shopping in, there was a gentleman that was exiting the store and saw the dog land on the woman and die, and then sees this woman get hit by a bus across the street. He ends up having a heart attack and dying. And the TikTok was like, as terrible as this all is, imagine the police trying to piece together this story of what happened.
Yeah.
You have 1, 2, 3 people and a dog dead. And all I could think about is like, what building has 13 floors? I thought you skipped 13. You go from 12 to 14. So it's the building's fault.
Well, could you imagine there's someone that saw all of that and lived to tell the tale?
Well, or the police put it all together.
What do you think their first thought was? Like, how did this all happen?
Exactly.
Which one do you go to first? They're all dead. So which crime scene do you check off first?
Dude, can you imagine the little kid upstairs crying and then they go downstairs, or at least the mother or somebody goes downstairs and they walk into this?
Like, I don't know why, but it reminds me of Clue. Where, like, bodies just start stacking up. They're like, well, we've run out of room. So.
Yeah, like, oh, wow.
That's hilarious. One time, speaking of heart attacks, when I worked at the first Walgreens I worked at, we had someone return a heart monitor or like one of the things, and they said that it didn't work, and then he had a heart attack after he returned it, and then he died.
How did you know?
It was at the store. So he came to the store with his defective machine, was trying to return it. After he was walking away from the counter, he had a heart attack.
No.
And then he died.
Nuh-uh.
I was off that day and I was like, are you shitting me? They're like, no, that happened. And I was like, oh my God.
Dude.
I know it's not funny.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing. I'm still laughing, processing the other story. But could you imagine?
Yeah, I can.
That phone call is basically this sort of situation. But like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, he was returning an item.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a defective item and now he's dead. Crazy.
It is. We should learn a new word every day and incorporate it into our vocabulary.
Sarsaparilla.
That's an old word, not a new word. An unknown word.
Oh. So like
not an old English word.
Like a made-up word?
No. Like, them fancy words. We're going to go to dictionary and we're going to pick a word that we do not use in our everyday speech.
I don't use sarsaparilla anymore.
But you've used it before.
Okay, that's true.
Okay. And we have to learn how to spell it.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
That's where I know sarsaparilla. It was on an episode of Full House. Sarsaparilla. Yep.
I guess.
It was when Stephanie is trying to do the spelling bee.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's that episode. All of our chickadees out there, please fact check me. Okay. So I like that she sold or got money for the ponies.
Yeah.
And then bought a pony back from the guy. And his immediate reaction is, we're not trading again, are we? He's like, oh no.
She got him good.
I can't do this again. Yeah, she
got it for $10.
Yeah, she went from not getting anything for the stuff to getting all of her money that she wanted and then getting a horse, a pony back that she just got money for.
Yep. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, man. Mm-hmm. So I like that she travels on the horse through the water, gets over to the other side, and both guys are looking at her like, how did you just do that?
Mm-hmm. She's got spunk.
She does. She's got true grit.
Yep.
And then they spank her.
Yeah. Well, he did threaten that, remember? Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, really, it only has herself to blame.
Mm-hmm.
He did say that he was going to spank her.
Yep.
Spanking is like a big thing in these movies.
Really?
Like literally every John Wayne movie I think I ever saw that he has a female co-star.
She gets spanked?
Always. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like every single movie I think I've ever watched. Yeah.
You're saying
but
an adult woman is getting spanked.
And in two of those movies, he kisses them right afterwards.
What?
I think it's like foreplay or something. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. It's true.
True grit.
True grit. Yeah. They're always just spanking people.
Oh my gosh.
Women mostly.
We need a movie now of women beating men. Not spanking them, beating them.
I was going to say, if you say spanking, guys would just be excited about that.
Beat them.
Beat them up.
Yeah.
Big Rhonda from Saved by the Bell used to whip Zach around. I don't remember no
Rhonda.
Yeah, she was on a couple episodes. I want to say like one or two. And Zach was actually kind of afraid of her.
I don't remember her at all.
She whipped him around the dance floor.
No, nothing.
Oh, well, I remember.
Was it the early years?
Yeah.
Or okay. I didn't really care for those seasons that much.
Well,
because they really only had the teacher, Zach, Dustin. I don't know what his name was, and then Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah, Mr. Belvedere
or Billings. What was his name?
Belding. One building, two buildings, and one of which is balding. Anyways, that's a deep cut for anybody who watches Saved by the Bell. I like the part where they go to that house and he just keeps like kicking those kids around for whatever reason.
I didn't understand
Me neither.
Whose house that was.
I don't know. And I don't know why he was beating up these kids, but one of them looked so old. You could tell he was a kid.
Yeah.
But he looked like the oldest looking kid I've ever seen, like a reverse Benjamin Button. He just looks so old.
I'm sure there's kids out there that look old.
Maybe.
But they had a look for this movie and they purposefully skipped the cute kids because they were like, no. This is the kid we want.
Well, and like the other kid wasn't old looking and he was actually older than the other kid.
You can't help the face you're born with.
I just love how he just like kicked him. Mm-hmm. Like, really just had it out for those two kids. Let's see here. So then they stumble upon a body hanging in a really high tree.
Oh my gosh. I thought this was so funny.
Yeah. I love how she goes, why'd they hang him so high? And he goes, maybe they thought it would make him more dead.
And then he's like, was that your guy? She's like, can't tell from his feet. And then he's like, why don't you climb up there? You're still young.
Yeah.
So she gets up there and then she's like, no, it's not him. And then he's like, well, cut him down. And it's like, why? Maybe I know him. So she cuts him down. He falls and then he kicks him over. And he's like,
nope.
I don't know this man. I love the way he said that. He's like, I do not know this man. Yeah. And then like a stranger happens upon them. And then like she stayed up there.
Yeah.
You know, I thought like as a second lookout with her gun. And then she comes down finally after the dude left with the body. And then she's like, does he know him? He's like, nope. Why'd he take the body? Might be worth something, you know?
Yeah. Those teeth.
Yeah.
And then we meet good old Josh Brolin. I forgot how this movie went. Mm-hmm. So when I saw Josh Brolin and the way he was talking to her, like, you know, he knew her because he said, oh, you're Maddie. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit, is he a good guy? And it's actually one
like
of the
a
two,
misunderstanding.
Yeah, and I was
framing.
thinking, oh no, maybe it's one of those two guys are the bad guy.
Oh.
And I couldn't remember.
Uh-huh.
And then no, he kidnaps her and then gets shot. And
yeah, like later on when it's just the two of them, I really think she could have, like, they had an even footing.
Yeah.
Like she could have easily taken the gun and shot him, or at least whacked him with it. You know, she had already shot him. He had a wound to the rib area, you know? So I felt like it was kind of dumb for her to like not take that chance.
Right. Mm-hmm. But then later on she does.
Well, she kind of has to.
Yeah.
She doesn't like that's self-defense.
And then she fell into a hole. Mm-hmm. Plucky, go down the hole.
Yep.
Keys, go down the hole.
I don't understand why she didn't move faster when it came to, because there was a snake in the body.
Yeah.
And she was trying to pull the skeletal remains so she can get the knife that's on his waist.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, now that the snake has been disturbed, he's slithering out of the cavity of the ribs, the stomach, whatever. She should have, tried to get the knife faster. B, there was a point where she kind of grabbed the snake. At that point, fling it down or push the hole. If you missed your chance to get the knife, then just push the body down the hole.
Yeah.
You know?
So a couple days ago, I was grabbed something out of my laundry basket. And when I put it back down, there was a spider on my bed. And I was like, oh God, no. And my dog was on my bed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get this spider. So I go and I grab a Kleenex to kill the said spider. I grabbed it, thought I killed it. I opened up the napkin and he was not there. I don't know where the spider went. I haven't seen it since. Don't know where it went. I asked my dog to go get it. She didn't. She just sat there and looked at me lovingly. Was not helpful at all, actually. You know, if she's not going to pay rent, I feel like she should at least kill some spiders.
But not geckos. We like the geckos.
Yeah, I don't know where the spider went. And I had to sleep in here. I haven't seen it since. So that was sad.
It'll be fine.
And then today, I saw her grab something and take off. And I was like, what does she have? Because she wasn't eating it. She just had it in her mouth. So I was like, drop it. And I kept chasing her. It was a snake.
Really?
She had a little garden snake in her mouth.
Oh.
I think it was, I saw one the other day. And I only know it was a snake because a few feet from it, I found its
shell.
Yeah, shell or skin, whatever. But I don't think it was the same one because it was a different color.
Well, it's springtime.
I've never seen snakes in our yard at all. And now I've
you're
seen
not
2.
looking for them.
Well, I hope I don't see any more. Or she's going to kill them, I guess.
I didn't know when I was growing up that my yard had frogs until we got a dog and she kept playing with them and bringing them to us. And then we're like, oh my gosh, there's a frog. So then we would play with it too. Because we would always like water the yard. You could never tell because, you know, we didn't add like nutrition to the grass, but we always watered it. So
she didn't eat the frog? She just like put them in her mouth or?
Yeah, she would play with them. She would like, I guess now looking back at it, she would swat them around.
Yeah.
She kind of played rough with them, you know, but she would bring them to us and then we would be like, oh, like I love frogs, you know? A frog peed in my hand one time. That was not cool.
My dog, a turtle walked into our yard and my dad's dog, Maverick, was looking at it and he never barked. And so I heard him bark and I was like, what is happening? And me and my dad walk over and we're like, is that a turtle? How did the turtle get in the backyard?
Yeah.
And so we took it around front and set it free. It was really weird, but it was a snapping turtle, so he was not friendly.
Oh, I remember my friend, she had a pet turtle. And one time my brother was at her house. I don't know why. House sitting. Maybe we left him there. I don't know.
We just left him.
I don't know. But he was there by himself. And she had an apartment on the first floor. And her apartment faced like the fence. So it was like not facing the parking lot. So because of that, all she really had was like a patio, but no fencing. So she could technically we could barbecue out in the grass there. Anyways, my brother went out there one time and he decided to let the turtle out to be free for a little while. It was a pretty big turtle, like as big as your hand, right? So he says he's out there, you know, just hanging. And he's like, I was just sitting out there with my eyes closed, just hanging out. And then I opened my eyes and I couldn't find the stupid turtle because he blended in with the grass. And he said he freaked out. He was like, oh my God, I lost Christine's turtle. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he finally found it and put it back in its little fishbowl thingy, aquarium. Yeah. And he was like, I'm never taking the turtle out for a walk.
You got to be careful when you take your turtle out for walks.
Well, not only that, this isn't even your turtle. How would you have explained that?
Just go buy another turtle.
I remember everything would be fine. And then at nighttime when we would go to sleep, the turtle had his little gravel.
Well, he's nocturnal.
Oh, is he? I don't know, man. But
it was a pun.
I distinctly remember one time me and Yolanda were sleeping in the living room and you just hear gravel, 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 gravel. I can ignore it, you know? Yeah. And I just remember one time, Yolanda, I don't know. I just heard her yell at us, just shut up. Just shut up. And there's nothing you can do to make it stop. Yeah. You know, because it's a turtle.
Exactly.
So that's our turtle story. and frogs. And frog story.
And snakes.
And dogs. And spiders.
Yes. So when Josh Brolin, when she sees him, all I can think of is The Princess Bride, which is when the guy is like, you killed my father. You must die. Montoya. I don't know.
I love how she's telling him her evil plan.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I refuse.
Yeah. What if I don't?
Yeah. You know. So.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, so she gets sent a letter by Rooster when she's an adult that he's in a traveling Wild West show and she should come if she is up to it. And so she finally decides to come. And
she still owes him $50.
Yes. And then 3 days before she gets there, he passed away. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it, Rooster. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you have on the movie?
Well, I enjoyed how hard they tried to make it feel authentic.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I would have to watch this movie again and with caption, but that's not going to happen. Maybe if it wasn't so strong accented, it might have been a bit more enjoyable, you know?
Yeah.
Like I realize they're trying to be authentic, but it was just, it was hard, you know?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Just imagine somebody trying to learn the English language and having to watch this movie. Like I struggled and I know the language.
Yeah.
And we're Southerners, so we're used to twang. But this was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
My one note is that I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, so I've seen the original True Grit, and Maddie in that movie is the most annoying character I think I've ever seen.
She would have gotten abandoned a long time ago.
Oh, I would have punched her square in the face. She's so annoying. And I remember when we were going to watch this movie, I was just like, oh, it's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. But she's really good.
Yeah. I didn't find her annoying at all.
No. And I think, I must have seen this before I saw Pitch Perfect because it came out before it. But I remember how people were making such a big deal that she was going to be in Pitch Perfect 2. And I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of her. I forgot she was in this movie. Mm-hmm. But she got an Academy nomination for this part.
Oh, yeah. Totally deserved.
But you know what she didn't get it in?
What?
As the main actress in the movie. It was...
Grandma Turner?
No. She got it for... What is that called? When you're not the main character.
Supporting actress?
Supporting actress. And I was like, she's the main protagonist in this movie.
Yeah.
How is she the supporting actress?
She's the one that the camera followed the entire time. Yeah. Like,
she's on screen almost the whole entire movie.
Exactly.
How is she in a supporting role?
She's in every scene, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in every scene.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
No one's having a private business conversation without her.
I wonder what movies were up for what actresses were up for best actress in a movie.
That they gave her supporting to hope that she had a better chance.
Because I think you can decide.
Oh, yeah. I think in the Emmys, you make your best submission. But I don't know about the Oscars. Oh, no, because they do make their submissions.
Yeah. So I wonder if they were like, oh, shit, there's some really tough competition. Let's do it in
they're like,
best supporting.
She really deserves an Oscar, and we feel she would have a better shot beating a supporting actress instead of a main actress.
Yeah.
Lead actress. I don't know what that's called. Case. Okay. I could see that.
But I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, let's see here. We'll decide.
Let us look back in time to the Oscars of 2011. Ding, ding. I'm going to look up Academy Awards. No, I'll just look up Oscars. I can spell that.
Okay, this came out December of 2010. So yeah, it would have been 2011.
Mm-hmm. That's how it works.
Jeff Bridges was a nominee. Colin Firth won for King's Speech. Best Picture.
You couldn't understand him either.
Okay, so Best Supporting Actress, Melissa Leo in The Fighter. I've never even heard of that. Jackie Weaver in Animal Kingdom. Never heard of that. Helen Bonham Carter in The King's Speech. And Amy Adams in The Fighter. I've heard of Amy Adams, obviously. Best Black Swan.
Okay.
And Annette Bening in The Kids Are All Right. Michelle Williams in Blue Velvet. Nicole Kidman and Jennifer Lawrence. So, yeah, it was probably better to do it in Best Supporting.
Gosh. So, Jennifer Lawrence's Winter Bone. So, I remember we were at the Red Box. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
we still have those.
Yeah, but like, Anyways, okay, so we were at the Red Box and we were trying to find something to watch, and any of the new movies we had already seen.
Yeah.
And so we were like, there were a few options, but we were like, I read the description for that Winter's Bone, so we watched that. Mm-hmm. And we were blown away with that movie. So she did well. And that was the first time we had ever seen or heard of Jennifer Lawrence because we watched that movie.
Really?
Yep. Let's see. Supporting actress. The Fighter. Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Animal Kingdom.
Nope. Never heard of it.
I love Helena, but yeah, no. Haley Steinfeld really deserved it out of the people that I recognize.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
okay.
April.
Yes.
So what would you rate this movie?
I would rate this movie. I did enjoy it. It was an excellent story. I just wish I could understand the words faster and better, because I was on a delay when I did understand it. I would give this a 7 out of 10. There was no night shooting. Come on now. What was that? Through the moonlight?
Yeah.
Like, no.
So I think it's beautifully shot.
Yes.
It really felt like an old Western.
Yeah, definitely.
They filmed some of it in Texas. And I enjoyed it, and I know my grandpa really liked it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 Jeff Bridges.
Yes.
And that's all I have.
Yes. Join us next week.
When our cautionary tale continues. No.
Yes.
No, next week, actually,
we
probably
will not be here.
Huh?
No, we're not recording next week.
Well, we have another episode, so.
Oh.
I can just do this one on Tuesday and do the other one on the next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, you'll hear from us.
Yeah.
But whatever. Mm-hmm. But all right, guys, until next time.
Toodles.
Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Giovanni. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.